Hello everyone, Ricardo here. Today's video we are going to talk about one of America's most iconic engines, and that is the New York Central's 464 J Hudson locomotives. The reason why I call these engines Hudsons is because there's more than just one variant of these Hudson locomotives. You will see how many there were during this video, so sit back and enjoy it. During the 1920s, the New York Central was one of many railroads getting very busy with moving passenger and freight trains. They were relying on the New York Central K462 Pacifics to hold these trains, including express trains like the 20th Century Limited and the Empire State Express. So they were needed of a new built locomotive to hold more than just a 12-coach passenger train. So thanks to the New York Central's new mechanical engineer, Paul Kiefer, came to the result of the first 464 steam locomotive in 1927. Classified as a J1, number 5200 was delivered on February 14, 1927. Ironically, the Hudsons were inspired on the already existing New York Central's K5s by the appearance, and the firebox was inspired on the new Lima Locomotive Works 284 Berkshire locomotives. The Hudsons had a maximum speed of 110 miles per hour, a wheel diameter 79-inch drivers that could produce 41,860 track-feet effort, and they weighed over 681,900 tons. They were also fitted with an 8.6 step tone whistle, which sounded like this. Over 205 Hudsons were built for the New York Central from 1927 to 1931, from numbers 2200 to 5344. They were put into service with commuter trains and freight trains, and even on the 20th Century Limited. Other railroads like the Michigan Central Railroad and the Big Four route ordered their own fleet of 30 Hudsons each. By the 1930s, Streamline was taking part of the Art Deco movement, and thanks to Carl F. Cantola in December, he gave a streamline treatment to Hudson J1 number 5344 and was given the name Commodore Vanderbilt, and went on a publicity tour to big cities and across the New York Central system. The New York Central received the new variant of 50 Hudsons, known as J3s, from 1937 to 1938. The J3s had 20% more power than the J1s at 65 miles per hour. They could produce 4,700 horsepower at 77 miles per hour and could run to over 100,000 miles without heavy maintenance. Some were also equipped with larger tenders and were nicknamed Super Hudsons. The last 10 J3 Hudsons, 5544 to 5454, were given a streamline treatment by the industrial designer Henry Dreyfuss, who took part of the project of the Streamline 462 Pacific Mercury and its train in 1936. These Hudsons were nicknamed Dreyfuss Hudsons. They had discs on the driving wheels. They came to the redesign of the 20th Century Limited with lightweight passenger cars and could easily run 90 miles per hour along the river route. They were also used on publicity and even on the Art Deco movement too. From the 1940s to the 1950s, the dieselization of America's railroads was taking effect. The New York Central had the arrival of EMD E-Series diesels that took over the 20th Century Limited. They also had their own arrival of their 484 Niagara locomotives, who have more power than the J Hudsons. The arrival of the Niagaras would seal the Hudsons' fate. The Hudsons remained in service. Some would lose their streamline, while would keep their disc driver wheels. The Hudsons would continue pulling passenger trains from 1956 to 1957, and sadly, all of them was scrapped by the same year. Sadly, not a single example of the J Hudsons were preserved. with the exception of a tender that belonged to Locomotive 5313. It was converted into a steam heat car and is still in use on the Steamtown National Historic Site. You could say that this is the only example remain of a J Hudson. Maybe the reason why none of the J Hudsons were preserved is because they were good runners on straight tracks, and most of America's railroads go through the Rockies of the mountains. So maybe they would struggle even if they had some assistance, though they could have at least tried. Even so, Lionel used 5344 as a reference for their own Lionel model of the J Hudson in 1937. And I admit, it's a very good model. Thank you all for watching this video about the New York Central Hudsons. If you want another engine to be talked about in the next video, let me know in the comments. But by April 30th, I have a surprise video about a very interesting locomotive. You will see what it is, so wait to see. So that's all for today. My name is Ricardo, and this is Rebel Locomotives. We'll see you all next time.